Since Doug and his little team of ghouls are installing the rear axle assembly in our 1971 Road Runner 446-barrel 4-speed car, I've still got the engine and transmission over here on the other side of the shop. I wanted to take a minute and show you at home, if you haven't been introduced to the pistol grip shifter, the Hurst competition box, and the linkage and how all that stuff works. I don't think we've ever dove into that before. So I wanted to take a minute and share that with everybody at home so you can see how it works and some of the intricate differences between the different models of car and what shifters they would have. If it had bucket seats in a 71 to 74 B body, they bolt the shifter on at this back mounting plate. That's because if you've sat in one of those cars, you realize how much further back the shifter is. Okay, if you go back actually a few seasons ago, we bought that 71 Super B up out of Boring, Oregon. That was a 383 4-speed car. It was a bench seat. When you have a bench seat, the shifter has to be further forward than it is with bucket seats. So this shifter mounting position, this would be utilized on a 71 to 74 B body with a bench seat. Kind of interesting. The other car that it would be bolted right here to is a 70 B body. Whether it was buckets or whether it was a bench, it would bolt on right there. Pistol grip shifter, they had several different ones. You had your 70 to 74 E body, which is this sweet little short one right here. You had the 71 to 74 B body bench seat style that we talked about where the shifter would mount up here. That shifter bows back a little bit to get to the driver, but because it's a bench seat, you couldn't put the shifter in the middle. Then you have your famous, world famous, 1970 B body shifter with and without console. That's the one that came all the way up, seemed to be 10 feet long. In reality, it's not if you look at one, but when you're in a car, it feels like it is. But in this particular case, it's a 71 B body with bucket seats, so it gets this shifter mounting position, these rods, these levers, which are exactly the same as the 70 to 74 CUDA, regardless of what engine it is, as long as it had a 4-speed. How the system works is you look at your lever up here at the top, you see reverse, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a shift pattern. It's very natural. You still see it on today's cars. The amount of slack and slop that you see right here is because we're able to go into neutral. When that's in the neutral position, those front rods are in the neutral position. That's when your engine's idling, this thing's shaking like that, and the engine idling all tough. Forward and backwards in the middle of the neutral gate, which I would suggest is right there. If you go forward, it's going to give you first gear, and if you come backwards, it's going to give you second. We're going to go to what I believe is first gear, and what you'll see happen is this rod here is going to pull back. This is your 1-2 shift rod, this is your 3-4. So both 1 and 2 work off of this rod. So when you see me click into first gear, this rod comes back, it's now engaged in first gear, or low hole we used to call it. Second gear, we're going to come straight back. There's the motion. Go up, click over to the right and up, third, back is fourth. So working through the gears like you would if you were driving the car, first gear, a little bit of tension to the left while you pull second gear. This rod goes forward, second gear internally is now engaged. You come back up, let off of that pressure and go straight ahead. That's your third gear. When you go into fourth gear, that is your 1-to-1, your high gear, your tallest gear you've got. Back into neutral, watch what happens when I go all the way over to the left. See that slap on there? You have to give that a little slap and then up. It engages the reverse rod, that pulls this lever back and it puts it into the reverse. That's when your dash light that says reverse pops on and your backup lights back in your bumper or the rear body panel or wherever they're at would pop on. So there you go, the 1, 2, 3, 4s, if you will, of shifting a 4-speed transmission. Now when the Trey was doing it back in the day, I went through the gears fast, so fast that people didn't even know what I was doing. They couldn't even see it, right? So if you were actually looking at this pattern right here and you see mark, that's how fast it was. You saw a little flash. And then you'd hear my voice just taper off into the distance. That's because I rode through all 4 right there.